I think anyone who's in a really difficult marriage, or what I want to say is a really difficult phase of marriage, that can be so complicated for that person's identity. It's like, who are they when their marriage isn't going well? When they think of themselves as someone who is competent and able to have a good marriage. But then on top of that, you're both coaching and therapizing and counseling couples on how to have a great marriage, gets at the identity at a whole other level. It's like identity challenge on steroids. And so I think that says something so beautiful, both about your love and honestly, Tarah, just how you move through life, that in the midst of it, you would turn to EJ and say, once we're on the other side, we're opening a center so we can help everyone else with this.
Not even on the other side, like when we figure this out-ish, we're always growing and changing, but yes.
Well, that's like the feedback loop of therapy also that's been wonderful for us is that, we talk about things with individuals, and then in the back of my mind, I hear this nagging thing saying like, I really sucked at this yesterday. Like I did a really poor job of that. But it reminds me also of like, a lot of times I walk out of those sessions going like, I gotta like double down. I gotta really work on my mindfulness around this, because I can't just be like, spouting this and espousing this to a couple and then go home and not embrace it and figure it out on my own.
Yeah, I am with you so much. I will never forget the first couple that I coached. It was the first time in a professional context that I really was in the sacred, intimate space of being with a couple the way they are with one another, more so than ever before for either of them, and more so than ever before for me. It's totally different talking with a friend about what's going on in her relationship. So anyway, I was coaching. I believe I kept a professional face, but inside, I was just shocked at how disrespectfully she spoke to him. I had no question that they really loved one another. They really cared. They wanted to communicate successfully. But the way she said, well, he's not, I don't even remember what the particulars are, but I just remember thinking, this is what love looks like. And not even a breath afterwards, in the back of my head, I thought, oh, this is how I talk to my husband. And I came to realize he had told me how I was disrespectful. And for me, maybe I was, maybe I wasn't, but it just wasn't a big deal. And then witnessing this woman be disrespectful with total unconsciousness about it really opened up this whole, felt like a trap door, but once I fell in, it was like one of those fairy tales where actually there was a whole adventure and I found some incredibly wonderful terrain. So I'm just saying that I really relate to that. And I think it's important for those of us who are helping couples to be honest with ourselves in this way.
Okay. I can't tell you how many times really quickly where we're in arguments and I'm like, EJ, why can't you just practice what you say to our couples when we're in session? Because you say it so beautifully to them. We have been caught in that conversation so many times.
Okay, so how do you answer that question, either one of you? Why is it different with one another versus what you're genuinely able to facilitate for others?
I mean, for me, it's just that it's no one sees me like Tarah sees me. Nobody has probably the access to touch and trigger, sort of my deepest suffering. And because when we're hit into that place of really deep suffering, we really lose the ability to act intentionally. And so everywhere else, I'm pretty good at, especially myself, where I'm a pretty measured individual. Like everywhere else, I'm able to kind of basically keep my shit together. And with Tarah, she's like the one person that I struggle to do that.
Thank you.
That's right, because the two of you have enough perspective to know what an amazing expression of love that is.
It
Yeah,
is. It is.
absolutely.
I adore her. I adore her, and I, and when I do fall short, I feel horrible about it. But I also have this like righteous indignation also that will like rear its head. That's not helpful at all. It's not loving. It's not caring. It's not the partner I want to be.